It was a quiet afternoon on a rural road, the kind of place where time seems to stand still. Birds chirped in the trees, a light breeze rustled the leaves, and the sun cast a golden glow across the landscape. But that peace was shattered by a sound that stopped hearts cold, a child's sobbing, piercing and desperate, echoing through the air. And then, just as suddenly, came the eerie silence, followed by the low growls of dogs. Not just one. A whole pack of German shepherds closing in. Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning in from. And if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed, because tomorrow I've saved something extra special for you. 6-year-old Noah had wandered too far from home again. He was a curious child, bright, adventurous, and a little too fearless for his own good. That day, he was chasing a butterfly, laughing as it flitted from flower to flower, leading him down a dirt path off the edge of his family's farm in rural Tennessee. It wasn't until the insect disappeared into the trees that Noah realized he was completely alone. And that's when the fear set in. From the underbrush came a rustling, and suddenly he was face to face with the largest dog he had ever seen. Its dark eyes locked on his, ears perked, body rigid. Noah froze. Then, more rustling. Another dog appeared. Then another. Before long, a full pack of German shepherds surrounded the boy, silent and watchful. Noah didn't know what to do. He began crying, tears streaming down his face, but instead of attacking, the dogs lay down. One gently nudged closer, pressing its warm body beside him. Another circled the perimeter, standing guard. Noah's sobs softened, replaced with confused hiccups and wide-eyed silence. Miles away, Hank Lawson, a retired military dog trainer, noticed an alert on his tracker app. The lead dog, Roxy, had activated her emergency signal. Hank knew something was wrong. Roxy and the rest of the trained search pack had been let out for exercise, but were trained to report anomalies. Hank grabbed his keys and rushed out. Back at the farmhouse, Noah's mother, Jenna, realized her son was missing. Panic set in as she called out his name, running through the fields. Her calls were met only by silence. She contacted the sheriff's department, and a search party was dispatched immediately. The sun dipped lower, shadows stretching across the road. The search party combed the woods. Hank, using his training and Roxy's GPS, navigated toward the signal. As he drew closer, he heard it, gentle growling, and then a child's sniffle. Pushing through a thicket, Hank emerged into a small clearing. There in the golden light was Noah, huddled against Roxy, surrounded by 5 other German shepherds. The boy looked up at Hank with wide eyes. "Are you here to take me home?" he whispered. The dogs parted as Hank approached. He lifted Noah gently, cradling him against his chest. Tears spilled down the man's weathered face. As he radioed for help, Roxy stood by his side, tail wagging. Moments later, Jenna arrived, collapsing in relief as she saw her son safe. The story made local news within hours. Interviews with Hank revealed the extensive training the dogs had undergone, each one a former military or police canine, retired into Hank's care and retrained for civilian search and emotional support operations. The footage of the dogs protecting Noah quickly spread online. Within 24 hours, it had millions of views. People from around the world were moved by the images of Noah clutching one of the German shepherds with tears on his cheeks. Preparing and narrating this story took us a lot of time, so if you are enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Now back to the story. Letters, gifts, and donations poured in from strangers who felt a connection to the story. Parents wrote about their own children who had wandered off. Veterans thanked Hank for continuing to give retired dogs a purpose. But beneath the surface, something deeper was discovered. A social worker assigned to check on the family learned that Noah had wandered off not just because of curiosity, but because of increasing tension at home. His parents were on the verge of divorce. Jenna and her husband, Tom, had been arguing for months. Financial strain, long hours, and lack of communication had pushed them apart. Noah's disappearance was a wake-up call. They agreed to attend counseling. In a quiet moment, Hank shared his own story. He had once lost a son, killed in action overseas. The dogs, especially Roxy, were part of his healing. Saving Noah brought him a peace he hadn't felt in years. With help from the community and donations, Hank and a local therapist started a new initiative, Dogs for Kids, a non-profit focused on training therapy dogs for children from troubled homes. The dogs visited local schools. Children who rarely smiled began opening up. Noah, now a local celebrity, joined the visits. He told his story with quiet confidence, each word healing a little part of himself. Major news networks picked up the story. A documentary team followed Hank and Noah for weeks, capturing their growing bond and the incredible transformation happening in their small town. Hank turned part of his property into a training and therapy center. Families traveled from out of state to meet the dogs who had once saved a boy on a road. Jenna and Tom found new strength in their marriage. They credited the dogs, the therapy, and the support network. "They didn't just save Noah," Jenna told a reporter. "They saved us too." Inspired by the dogs' actions, Hank started a program to train more dogs like his pack for search and emotional support missions. Local schools and hospitals invited him and his dogs to visit, offering comfort to children with anxiety, PTSD, or trauma. The town held an annual event to celebrate Hank's dogs. Noah led a parade with Roxy beside him. Music played, banners waved, and the message was clear. One act of protection had changed everything. Other countries reached out to replicate the Dogs for Kids program. Hank traveled abroad, helping establish similar projects in communities from South America to Eastern Europe. At a major fundraiser, Noah took the stage. He talked about how he'd once felt small and lost, but the dogs made him feel protected. He ended with a message: "Every child deserves to feel safe." The documentary premiered to critical acclaim. Viewers were touched by the transformation not only of one child, but of an entire town. 1 year later, on the same road, Noah stands tall, this time with his hand resting on the back of the same shepherd who first lay beside him. He tells his story at a fundraiser event, his voice clear and steady. "They didn't just save me from the woods, they saved me from being alone." Up next, you've got 2 more standout stories right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out, and don't forget to subscribe. And turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upload from us.